Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Adam, aka the BreadBreaka. Listen, we've got something special for you today. We are going to do a gourmet dinner tonight starring Filet Mignon, but a very, very close co-star is going to be this mushroom risotto that's going to be super creamy, fantastic, and super rich. We're going to add just a little bit of heavy cream, and I know you're not supposed to, but we are, just to kind of set it off a little bit. We're going to have some asparagus. We've got a wonderful salad that we're going to put together with cranberries and cashews and all kinds of cool stuff. And for dessert, a special treat, this is a Chambord cake. If you're not familiar with Chambord, it's a blackberry liqueur that is sort of sweet, a little bit tart, but we're going to couple that with some lemon raspberry sorbet, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So stay tuned. We're about to get it on. Okay, so this is the beginnings of our Chambord cake. I have my special dry concoction. We're not going to discuss the specifics of it because, you know, if I tell you it, I have to kill you. We want you to watch this stuff. So I've got my special dry concoction, and we've got a few eggs. We've got a little bit of heavy cream, and I use some skim milk. And we've got half a cup of the skim milk, and we've got a half a cup of the Chambord. You want to add that into your batter, and oh man, when it starts cooking, it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. You just be like berries everywhere. It's like it's gonna be spring again. So we're gonna go ahead and add the butter, and I'm just gonna mix it up. You want it to be kind of soft. You definitely want it to be soft because we're gonna mix that up and eventually add it to, making a little bit of a mess. Kind of starts off, you want your butter to chunk up a little bit, and what's going to happen is once you add it to the dry mixture, it's going to kind of flow within it all, and then when you taste the cake, that's part of the richness that you get. So we're just going to go ahead and add this to our dry. And we're going to add them to the molds. The molds, I kind of like to use cooler molds in that, but it's okay. Next time we make these desserts, we'll have some real classy molds, but the dish is gonna look cool on the plate, trust me. So we'll just finish this out, and then we're gonna bake about a dozen of these, and once we finish that, we'll just set them off to cool, and then we'll get ready. We've got like 2.5 inch thick fillets, so we're gonna start those out on top, and we're gonna put those in the oven to finish, and we're gonna make this risotto. It takes about 30 minutes to make good risotto, so I'm gonna get started here soon, but we wanna do dessert since we're making it fresh and from scratch. We wanna get it done, and we want to get it cooled off, so when we plate it, you know, it appears the right way, and it won't melt the sorbet really fast. So yeah, okay, so we are buttering this dish, and if you notice that I'm using a lot of butter, so this is not a dessert that you want to have if you are watching your intake. I say cheat. It's probably the better thing to do. One day I ain't gonna kill you, man. We gotta die something. It might as well be good food. So I am buttering this up, and then we're gonna drop the cakes in here. We're not gonna fill them all the way up because we're going to we're gonna make a glaze to kind of saturate these cakes, and that's where the big flavor comes from. There's no frosting or icing or anything like that. So it's mostly from like the richness of the butter and sugar and high quality liqueur. If you know, you know. So yeah, we're gonna add this here, and then we're gonna pop these in the oven, and we're gonna get started marinating these steaks. We're going to have to let them go. They're pretty big, so we're gonna let them go for about 20 minutes, and then we'll get started on the risotto. So we'll probably get about 16 or 18 cakes from this, but we're only having 3. So if you'd like for me to ship you one, no, I'm just kidding. But no, we are just going to fill these just a bit. We don't want them to go too far over the top because we're going to glaze these. So it all just kind of saturates inside the cake. That's where the flavor is going to go. And once you put it with that sorbet, it's going to be bananas. Alrighty, so our first batch of Chambord liqueur cakes are finished. So we just added the glaze to them, and we're going to turn them over and kind of let them cool off because appearance is very important. So I am a little skeptical of these, but once we present this, it's going to be absolutely fantastic when it's on the plate. But you can get an idea of what they'll look like here. And then once we plate them, it'll be a really, really cool thing. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna add the second batch. These things will be enormous if we butterfly them. I'm not sure if it's like a 2-serving filet either way, but I believe we're going to keep them solid. I don't know. I'm undecided at this point. But, wow, these are some very nice pieces of meat. I think we're going to butterfly them. Actually, no, we're not. Because I want them all to cook at the same time, and my griddle, I don't think will take 3 butterfly steaks at the same time. So we're gonna keep them like this, and then we're gonna sear them really nice on the outside, and then we'll pop them in the oven to finish them. Probably take about 15 minutes to keep them medium rare to rare medium. Otherwise, you should eat beef jerky, just for the record. But that's just me. But yeah, I'm gonna get the stuff prepared, and we're going to get these marinated and back in the container. Steak marination. This is very important. This is key. A lot of times people will over season the beef, right? Or any kind of meat that they're having, but whatever you do, you want your meat to be the superstar, but you still want to have flavor. And I use pretty simple ingredients when it comes to that. I also do another thing, poking the steaks. You know, some people will tell you don't do it, it'll like ruin it. It won't be as juicy, but that's just simply not true. It will help all of the seasonings that you use penetrate the meat, and it takes less time for it to do it. So we're gonna let these sit probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe a little more before we start to sear them, and then we're gonna pop them in the oven and let them finish. But Very, very simple. This is pepper, salt, Worcestershire. My mom's a teacher. Worcestershire sauce, and just very, very simple. There's a garlic paste that I'm going to use too. This is a garlic paste. You will find this in any Arabic grocery store or halal grocery. I like to go in there a lot to buy spices. Also like to get this paste. It comes in garlic, comes with a garlic ginger mix, and it is kind of heavy with the salt, but don't worry, these are big pieces of meat. But it gives it a flavor that you would not believe. And if you love garlic, you know you can never use too much. Again, don't worry, it looks excess, but it's not. And then we'll just do it all over again. Thank goodness I play basketball. I'm ambidextrous, you know, so. Bonus of cooking food too. But again, same thing. Don't worry, that's not a lot of salt. It won't be salty at all. And boom. We used the butcher paper. We didn't mash up the cutting board. And in the business, they call that perfection. So, can't wait to cook. It's gonna be about 20 minutes, 30 minutes before we get them. But we're gonna prepare the shrimp here. And these shrimp might look a little unusual to you, probably because they are. These are Argentinian red shrimp. Kind of in the prawn family, super huge. So, well, yeah, I guess it's official. Surf and turf on the BreadBreaka. We'll be right back. So we're marinating the shrimp, and I just use basic salt, pepper, and of course the garlic paste. Garlic is king as far as I'm concerned. And very, very simple, just like the fillets. We want the actual food to be a superstar. So the seasonings are just the enhancement. You'll definitely get it, but you'll definitely taste the food more so than the seasonings. Oh, that's a sign that you know what you're doing, by the way. But anyway, we'll see about that. Alrighty. Dicing up some shallots. So I'm gonna start the risotto. Again, this is probably about a 30-minute process, but definitely well worth it. You want to start out with some shallots, and you want to get those sort of cooking a little bit. We'll start out with that, and then we'll add some garlic. And once we get that cooking up, then we'll start the risotto. And as you can see, our mushrooms are definitely coming together. They're starting to look good. They'll be caramelizing here in a minute, and then I'll add some garlic to it. Once we get all the liquid out of the mushrooms, we don't want them to be full of water. We want them to caramelize a little bit. And then I'll pop some of that wonderful hello garlic in there, and we'll be good to go. We will keep the oven on because we're going to go for about 15 minutes in the oven with the filet. But in the meantime, we'll keep cooking these mushrooms, and we will so they're starting to look good. If you're a mushroom fan, you want this in your life. Definitely good stuff. They'll be caramelized here in a minute. Shallots will start cooking. We'll add the risotto, and we'll start slowly like adding the stock in there as we go to keep the starch up. Throw a little parm in there. Fantastic. You'll love it. We are chopping up just a little bit of this Italian parsley. We're going to add it to the mushrooms. Once we add the garlic, we can take a look. They're starting to caramelize a little bit. So this is definitely what we are looking for. At least close. So we're going to let those cook down just a little bit more, and then we will add the garlic. And then we'll just put those to the side until it's time to add them to the risotto. And we have some left over, maybe we'll put them on the plate for light decoration. But we mainly want it in the risotto and on top of the risotto to kind of showcase it a little bit. Garlic. Oh, that's gonna be good. The shallots are starting to cook. You want to caramelize them just a little bit before you put your garlic in, and then you want to add your risotto, and you're going to have it go fairly slow. We're just going to add, as it reduces, we'll add more just so it'll stay super creamy, and then in the end we'll add some parm and some of the mushrooms that we're doing right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want that. You want that. We will put those up there, let them rest for a second. And with the risotto, we definitely have to be careful. We want all this stuff to cook slow. So the biggest reason why people think risotto is so hard to make is time consuming. You have to be patient. So if you don't have patience, go to a restaurant. But if you do have some patience, you want this to cook. Once you add your garlic, once you add your shallots, you add your risotto, and it'll be a continuous stir for at least 20, 30 minutes. But you want to kind of get this to kind of crisp up a little bit. You'll see it get kind of brown. Then we'll add the white wine, and then the white wine will reduce down and kind of get into the risotto. And then we'll start adding chicken stock until it is creamy enough and al dente. We don't want it to be like mushy, but we want it to be al dente to where it's soft enough to eat, but you know, firm enough to where you know you're having risotto and not rice. Even though it is technically rice, but that's okay. We'll get into that on another show. But yeah, we'll let this cook down, and then we'll start adding the white wine. Okay, so you can kind of see in there it's starting to brown up a little bit, and it's kind of what we wanted. We wanted it to kind of get into the oil and start browning a bit. You can start seeing it separate from the shallots. So now we're going to add some white wine. Oh yeah, about that much. What you don't want to do when you're cooking risotto is overfill the skillet. You just want to get all your liquids like level to your rice, maybe a little bit more. And then you want to kind of keep stirring that up until it reduces down. All right. Oh, that smells good, man. So yeah, you want this to reduce down. And of course it's going to take in all of that great wine flavor. All the little mist you see is the alcohol boiling out of it. But it's going to take on that cool consistency. And already you can start to see the creaminess of the risotto. That's the starch. That's the bigger difference from like regular rice to risotto, is that it's the creaminess and the starch that you're going to get out of it. And at the end, we are going to add just a touch of heavy cream, but you don't have to. It's just to make it a little bit more rich. So I added a little bit of chicken stock in here. And again, when you're cooking risotto, you don't want to overfill it like you would a pot of rice. Just want to add a little bit at a time and let it get right over the top. And then as it simmers, it's going to, of course, absorb into the rice. And that's when you want to continue to add and continue to add. And you see, the more you stir it, the more creamier it starts to look, or the more creamy, for my English fans out there. And the more you stir, the more rich, kind of creamy vibe you're going to get out of it. We're on about 10 minutes of it, so we've got probably another 10 minutes or so before it's actually righteous, before we add the mushrooms and get to the fun stuff. Okay. Risotto's almost finished. We probably got about 2.5 cups of chicken broth that we've added. See how it expanded. We're going to add the mushrooms in there in a minute, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. It's going to be phenomenal. Now, we're going to go for the big boys. These are these mammoth fillets here. And we're going to start them here just to get some marks. But we will finish them in the oven since they're so big. They've been marinating for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour now. So we're gonna let those go for about 3 minutes on each side, or as long as we can take the smoke. And then we're gonna go into the oven for about another 15. Like I said, these are about 1.5 inch, 2 inch fillets, so we're gonna give them a little bit of minutes to cook properly. That'll be my little sample. Okay. So we got our markings. We're gonna let them stay up here for about another 5 minutes, and we're gonna pop them in the oven. We definitely have the look that we're looking for. And yeah, we got our shrimp cooked. Gonna put those on top. We're gonna make a garlic, lemon, and Parmesan cheese cream sauce. Take it to the next level. And then we're gonna feed these young ladies, see what they think. So we're just gonna add a little bit of parsley in here to finish it. And we're gonna add a few of these mushrooms. And this is the end of our mushroom risotto. Take my word, absolutely delicious. You're gonna find that out in a minute when you hear the reactions. Of our eager participants. We're gonna let that sit over there for 1 second. We're going to take these steaks, pop them in the oven.
Make this up.
Alrighty. Finished product. Argentinian prawn with a beautiful filet. Got mushroom risotto underneath with the asparagus that are kind of sauteed in garlic. It's like my little signature. Everybody loves the yes. Garlic asparagus. So enjoy.
I'm going for this risotto. It's like you don't even want to mess up the presentation.
Is there a bottle opener?
And that.
This one?
Yeah. Don't have a fancy one. It's like a corkscrew.
That's okay.
Asparagus has a nice little crunch to it. Perfect.
This right here. My Lord.
So this is a Merlot. That's a jewel here. It's a Merlot, 1976. Josh. No. But let's see if I have lost my wine pouring skills. It is actually a very good one. No drops. Still got the skill set.
Cheers.
Cheers. Toast to the chef. Toast to my sister and my mom.
To the chef.
Yes.
The BreadBreaka.
Yeah, the BreadBreaka. Yes.
Thank you.
It's so flavorful. It's really good. It's not mushy. It's like the right consistency. It's full of robust flavor. And then I add a piece of filet with it. My Lord, it just blends. Everything is just melting together divinely. Mama said these asparagus are perfect. They're crispy. You need a steak knife to cut them. The salad is sublime.
Risotto on this filet.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's good. Can be sugar free. And it's really inexpensive. That's what I love about it.
Sounds beautiful. Back to the risotto.
Yeah. You're right. I haven't even, I'm trying to cut into a little strip. Oh my gosh. And there's no nuts? Oh my gosh. I'm a firm believer if there's no nuts, it's not good. This is heavenly. It's heavenly.
That's
Oh, the sorbet? Yeah.
Is that good?
Dude,
Wow.
mercy. Ooh. Yeah, y'all might have to check on me in the morning. Everybody, come on. Bone is smelling.
Wonderful. I'm like, oh, did he make special homemade like little roses?
Says, the eyeballs on the back of my head. Oh man. Oh my God.